Hi everybody, it's Taylor. This is my preliminary storyboard for my project. Let's see. So a little bit about how the storyboard works, since I technically hand designed it just, with a template. So when you're looking at this one, the thick black boxes are part of the storyboard, and the box on the right are notes that sort of explain the scene goals and concept. I'm undecided if this is going to be user selective after the title screen, as in it can jump around on a map, or if it's going to follow a set narrative path that just has user interactions. I'll figure that out this week. So going forward, when you're looking at my concepts, keep in mind that my color palette is going to match my goals and the concept. So there should be some orange, yellow, red for like the happier, more natural cultural items, and then grays for the negative cityscape, and then green for anything that implies growth. So if you didn't read my journal, my project is on The House on Mango Street, which is a young adult novella about Esperanza's experience moving to and living on Mango Street in Chicago as a poor, young Hispanic female. And it's just such a rich and poetically captivating novella that I've done a lot of research on, and so I'm really passionate about it. You should definitely check out my journal if you haven't yet. I'll have it linked here somewhere. So obviously I can't do every scene, only a glimpse of the major themes, and I should be focusing on home, belonging, and place, and my goal is to just bring this to life, a bit of digital storytelling that has interactive elements involved. So my plan right now is that when you open up this design, this thing, there will be a title screen that says, welcome to modern day Mango Street, enter here. And I don't know, it'll just be set up in a way that it'll be clear that you're entering this new space. And that's sort of what the whole novella is about. And so you'll have to click to enter. I don't know if there's going to be sound. I'm going to bump through these. I have quite a few slides to get through. One thing that's important to me is there's going to be a constant key in navigation that will drop down from this little hamburger icon. The three main ones would be an insight icon. This is not what it's going to look like. It's just a general idea. An explorer icon and a place icon. So anywhere on the screen, one of these could pop up and you get more information or another activity if you hovered or clicked, depending on what it is. I'm not positive yet, because I'm going to have different interactions like drag and drop or match or click or pull and move. It'll just depend on the actual situation, and I should get into that a little bit in a moment. But the icons will always remain the same, so the user will know what that is. And these can drop down, like I said, and you'd see something like this box with a little information about what these do. So whether it's user interactive from the very beginning or if it follows a storyline path, I expect to have something sort of like this in Articulate Storyline, where you can see the map, which would probably look a little bit more like a city. I don't really have an example of that yet. I'm going to have to find a way to borrow or make one. But I'd like to track the user's progress of the main points that they hit on Mango Street. I don't have a set number for that yet, but it could be anywhere from 3 to 5, depending on how much I flesh those out, just to keep scope of this project and not go over too much. And for the sake of time, I'm going to bump through. My first scene, I'm hoping to have like an animated drive up to the street. Really excited, really colorful, really happy. She's moving again, but this time she's moving somewhere that's hers and she's proud of it. And then she pulls up to the real house and she's disappointed. This is the whole point of The House on Mango Street, is she doesn't have a house she feels like she can point to. And so her whole identity just for her feels like she doesn't have a place. And Mango Street's full of other dangers and other issues just from development and growing up. So with this dream versus the real house, I don't have the image yet, but something like this where it's an animated, clearly pretty house is what she's expecting, but what she gets is actually a sort of broken down house. It's described in great poetic detail in the story, and so my plan is to have one of those icons share that narrative so that you get it from the story, but you also get it visually. And there'd be a little interaction here with the slider. And that's an example right here of sort of what she saw. And in the TV scene, similar, the user controls the knob. You get real life images and news from now and from the 80s, which was when the novel was written. And my goal for this is to say, hey, this is a current issue, just development, pubescence, but also minority issues and feminist issues. That doesn't just go away because it's not the 80s anymore. And then there's a major scene that involves like the Cinderella story, and my interaction plan for that is like a drag and drop the shoes for the girls. It needs to be developed a little bit, but it's a major story. I definitely don't have enough time to get into everything. But another major component of this project and story is I want to animate her name, Esperanza. She says that in English, her name just means too many letters. And I'd like to have an interaction where the user pulls the letters apart, sort of a drag and drop command in Articulate Storyline. Feel free to email me if you want more info on that. And then one of my major things at the end, I want a closing resource scene where it's an interactive bookshelf. So anything that I pull from, whether it's the actual novel, my own personal research, etc., I'd like the user to be able to hover over the item and have that reference, just like a works cited situation. Okay, and that is the end from what I've prepared. I have more in my head. I just need to flesh it out once I decide which specific scenes, but it's definitely going to be an interactive story map, some sort of creative coding, some sort of interesting digital storytelling. I don't know exactly what I need to use for tools, but I'm going to figure that out as I go. Thank you for listening. I hope it makes sense. Sorry for going over the time and rambling. Let me know if you have any questions. Please keep up with my design blog. I'm hoping to really develop this into something special because I think Esperanza's story deserves it. Thank you and good luck on all of your projects.